Justin, we're back.
Are we?
Apparently so.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes.
I'm
Back
not. I'm
home.
not 100% sure we are back.
You're not home. Where's that? That's not your house behind you.
No, I'm just in Florida here at the minute. Don't
All right,
worry.
all right,
Don't worry.
dead on.
Don't worry. Don't
Put
worry.
remember, put sunscreen on the top of your head.
I know.
Remember sunscreen on the top of your head.
I know. It's hardly anybody's watching because we've missed 2 weeks. Do you know that? Normally at this point, we've got loads watching. Here, I better roll the credits. That's what happens when you miss 2 weeks, Marty.
I know.
We'd be in double digits already by now.
No, I know. They'll come. As I say, they'll be here. They'll be here.
I know.
But so what you've been at this week other than... Well, tell everybody what happened to you this week.
I got bit by a dog this week.
Justin, by the way, Tony and Joan, Justin is the world's most unlucky human being, right? He basically got out of a car, dog ran over, and bit him. Not anybody else, just no warning, just bit Justin.
Just run off again.
It's funny. We are with Tony and Joni, who are from the Spirit of Birmingham Distillery. And we are going to catch up with them in a little bit because we'll do some news. But they've got exciting news of their own, but we'll find out about that in a little bit. So we will. How are you guys? Are you all good?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Smashing.
Yeah.
Aye, that's I do apologise because I've got in touch with you ages ago, and I just now and then I saw a thing and I was like, oh Christ, I was in touch with you a long time ago, and I just never followed it up. I do apologise, but we've come good on it. We've got you here now.
No apologies needed.
The planets align.
The planets have aligned. Yes,
I have this weekend, so.
You see, we're actually supposed to record stuff in advance, so that when we can't do it, we can put it out as if it's live, and we just haven't had the time to do it.
I haven't time for nothing in the last sort of month.
I know.
Flat out. But yeah, so it's good to have you, and we will get talking to you in a little bit.
We'll hide you. We can't see what you're doing, so we'll see you in a wee minute. Okay.
See you in a wee bit. Justin, there's a pile of news. Loads of stuff, buddy. Loads of stuff has been going on. And we haven't really got a chance to tell anybody about it.
I know there has been. I mean, I've been following some of the stuff's popping up. I mean, it's looking good some places, not looking so good other places, really, is it?
That's it. I mean, it's what it is. But roughly the smooth. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a bit of news.
Okay. What's first this week?
Well, the big news has to be that Ebrington, they own Macallan most famously, and they used to own Famous Grouse, not anymore, and Meggett Malts as well, because they've sold them both to William Grant and Sons, one of the big ones. Grants have been doing really well. Their profits are up 34%, and whenever you consider that lots of places are struggling, they seem to have managed to fire ahead. So they've bought up two very well-known brands. I mean, Famous Grouse. How funny, I see Jim there. And Famous Grouse, they have a travel retail one that I was going through Glasgow Airport. Was it Glasgow Airport the other day? And they have a sherry cast finished grouse. It was £14 a bottle. £14 a bottle. I was kind of like, it's a bit strange, It's probably not great whiskey, but
how do they afford to pay the tax on it? Where do they get the money?
Well, that's duty free. It was in the duty free bit, so that's not going to be the problem. But it is.
Sorry, I just read that comment.
But no, as I say, the grouse is up. Was a thing I couldn't believe how cheap it was. But Scotland have upped their minimum alcohol pricing this week. That's bounced up again. That's up another 30%.
That's not good.
No, well, what it means is they've upped their alcohol pricing from 50p a unit up to 65. And that means that for a standard 70cl bottle, 40%, its minimum price is £18.20.
Wow.
Right? But you can just jump on the Amazon. I assume Amazon will still deliver to Scotland. There other retailers are available. Online retailers are available. It's dead easy to jump on Amazon, and you can buy Black Bottle for £17, Paddy's for £17, Grant's for £17. So, as I say, it's a bit of a nonsense, really. It's basically only going to hit the retailers.
It's not good. It's not.
I just don't think it's the smartest move in the world, to be honest. But there you go. A country who their national drink is one of their biggest industries in export, really sort of punishing this. Again, it's not a massive increase.
Why do they do it? Because places like France, they'll have champagne at the cycle races and the motor races, and they do everything they can to stop people celebrating Scotch whiskey, it seems.
Well, it seems that, it's bizarre because you go to France and you can buy alcohol, buy their own wines and stuff, really good bottles of stuff for next to nothing. And yet, the way it seems to be over here, we'll just keep putting the price up, put more and more pressure and regulation on what is a massive industry. As I say, it's just sort of bizarre,
Yep. Not good.
Not good at all. Not good. But I see Jim says there the naked grouse has become a decent blend for the price. Again, it's one of those ones. A lot of people drink it. They sell a shit load of it. So, do I like it? No, not particularly. But lots of people drink it, so they're obviously, for what they're doing in that category, fair play to them. Good on them. Good on them. Next up, we have Bushmills and the launch of the fifth release of the Causeway collection is coming up. I'm not 100% sure what all they are because, it's a bit. They're being a little bit secretive in some of the stuff, but yeah, they range. There's 8 new bottles from 10-year-old all the way up to 23. 10-year-old Barolo, 22-year-old Mezzanara, a double Muscatel, 23-year-old Madeira, bottled at 53.8%, and blah blah blah. I have to say, some of those whiskies will be fabulous stuff. I mean, really good. But again, at least this looks more like a collection. Some of it's going to be hard to get. Some of it's going to be ridiculously expensive. And the excitement of the Causeway collection, I mean, certainly in the secondary market, the prices of it's just collapsed totally. So it's a lot of that will be really good whiskey. It'll just be not as exciting as it should be.
Are you sure that's not down to your palate and other people like it?
No, but like this is that I can assure you, lots of those whiskies will be superb. The problem is they're going to be ridiculously expensive and quite hard to get, which kind of defeats the purpose, if I'm totally honest. But Bushmills have had an absolute field day with new releases because there's a whole pile of new ones coming for the States. If you go over to the labels that I sent you.
Yep. There we go.
Right, so according to this is the TTB. So they have to pass the labels, and obviously you get to see what they're going to be bringing out. 26-year-old Crystal Malt, 12-year-old Bordeaux, 10-year-old Muscatel, 10-year-old Amarone. They've just brought out. I mean, this is in the back of the 14, the 15. They have a new 12-year-old PX, which I sent you a picture for the bottle for travel retail over in Asia.
I've just thought of something here, and you maybe have thought of this yourself, and I may be stating the obvious, right? This is the 12-year-old you're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. If the ATF or whoever it is publishes labels beforehand to show that it's a popular or it's a real product or it's a legit product, surely that nips the marketer's surprise in the bud of launching new products.
Yeah, but it's only the nerds that are ever going to be monitoring the TTB.
Okay, right.
Okay. I mean, if people know what's coming.
Because it's a bit like iPhones. When a new one comes out, people check out the case manufacturers, and the cases have to be available. So as the phone comes out,
that's it. I mean, there's people go on, they look at this, and then they publish it up, and they post it up in the thing, and you get to see what's coming up. This is not for mass consumption, But I mean, it's still no doubt the whiskies will be some fantastic whiskey there. But it's, again, the price point, it'll be interesting to see where it is. But if you're stressing out about, the cost of this, the availability of any of this, doesn't matter, Justin. Doesn't matter. Because you can go to thecausewaycollection.com and they have a little video.
Oh, no. Marty, no. I don't want to play it. No.
Justin.
No.
Pull up the website till we see this. Just so you see.
Special discretion required. I should have a triangle in the corner of the screen here. I need one. I need one. People hopefully haven't seen this yet. Here we go.
Just bring it up, Justin. Because this is, pull it up full screen.
Okay.
Because when you're drinking your Causeway collection, how's about a little bit of zen? Relax with the headphones on, in front of a fire. Don't be setting the whiskey too close in case you burn your house down. And then you could sit there and listen to this track.
Please. No.
Hello and welcome. Congratulations on being in possession of a rare Bushmills single malt Irish whiskey.
Lovely.
You've had a busy day. Let the Bushmills Causeway collection take it from here with our unique reflective experience designed to help you relax and unwind while savouring this single malt treasure for a truly exceptional finish to your day.
Okay, thank you.
You're in good hands with the masters of resting.
I've got to stop it.
Right, skip forward a bit in this, right? I think you can go. Can you go a bit forward on it? Can you?
I can. What to?
Stick it on a couple of minutes, Auntie. This goes on for 12 fucking minutes.
Come along with us.
Can you?
As we transport you to the
can't.
world of Bushmills.
We're stuck.
And invite you to
right, turn it off. Turn it off.
Hi.
What is this bollocks like? It's all goes on about in the crashing of the waves. It's all like this for 12 minutes. I mean, what the fuck?
All right.
I mean, I'm all for about, I understand saying all that kind of stuff. Sitting down. Nobody sits down for a whiskey and goes, I'll sit in the lotus position and try and drink my whiskey. Maybe I'll chant the great Heart Sutra or something like this.
Do you know what happens if you listen to that? You buy whiskey stones. Oh boy.
Justin not only got bit by a dog this week, he also has the gold.
I know. I'm switching that off. That's terrible.
I cannot get my head around what the fuck that's supposed to be. Because it all talks about the causeway, the Giant's Causeway, for eons. And this guy's talking, it's like he's trying to put you to sleep. What a load of balls. What a load of balls that is. Again, Causeway Collection comes out. The whiskies, some of them will be fantastic, fabulous stuff, but they don't need this crap. Come on. This is like the Macallan advert with the Icarus and the wings and all that nonsense. It's just absolute crap. Absolute crap. Anyway, we've got some good news for the Irish Whiskey Museum in Dublin. Now, we all know how much we love that because they've won an award, or they got an award. So if you bring it up, Irish Whiskey Museum, the Trip Expert Choice Award it's one of the best things to do in Dublin. There's better things to do in Dublin than go to the Irish Whiskey Museum. You could, for example, sit and watch two heroin addicts beating the shit out of each other. You could possibly try and not stay up on someone that's homeless. You know, there's loads of things they do in Dublin that would be much better. Probably drowning yourself in the Liffey would still be better than going to the Irish Whiskey Museum. It's shit on an almost unimaginable quantity. It's crap. Absolutely. It's on it that it says they have won. They've got a Lonely Planet, a Time Out, and a CN Traveller awards as well. What are these people doing? They must be feeding them some heap of drink in that place. Because I've been there twice, and the time when the wee girl sat on top of the coffin, started swinging her legs and stuff. It's like, absolute bollocks. Absolute bollocks. But they've won an award, so congratulations to them. And yeah, this is absolute shit, like, but there you go.
All right.
Aye. Now, next up, Poachine Now. Tickets for Poachine Now.
It's
sold out both sessions. Went live. The tickets went on sale. Sold out both of them. So well done, Fran. Good man. Francis Levy runs it. Had a bit of bad luck whenever he's first started to get it up and running, and things sort of petered a bit. And there is still a little bit of dubiousness about the whole brand. There's a couple of things that sort of happened in it this year. Some of us know, some of us don't. But he sold out both sessions of it, and good on him. Good on him.
It's a well put together day out. Now, this is well put together, because
and it is. It's small, compact. It's not massive.
You can get round it all in one day. You don't feel like you're missing out. You can try one of everything, and you're not too drunk. Everybody is super friendly.
Yep.
A very broad, eclectic mix of people. Some with their own stuff, some with stuff that get made by other people, some with experimental stuff. And I mean, you think poachine's all going to taste the same? It doesn't.
No, it's superb. It's really nice category, and I'm very happy for him. I just can't go this year because of more stuff on. Surprise, surprise. But
well, I might go because I enjoyed it so much last year, even though it went me on. I might go.
Okay.
It's early November, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm looking at the planner here, and I'm thinking I've got Damien Lewis on that day.
The book. Well,
yeah.
I'd say I don't know.
Right. So maybe not. Maybe not. But it's sold out, so he doesn't need any more promo. So there you go.
No, he doesn't. But good on him. Yeah. New Dunville's 1808. 405 bottles. Sorry, for the Celtic Whiskey Shop. This is 6 years bourbon, 2 years Oloroso, €65 a bottle. So yeah, that'll be a nice drink. I know that. That'll be nice.
Okay.
So well, but yeah, new Dunvilles. Everybody knows we love Dunvilles. Blackwater. Skip on photos. Just hello.
Blackwater. I think this is the right one. It's not.
No, another one.
Hold on. Scrap that. Don't know what's going on here.
No.
We'll have to come back to that one.
Blackwater won a Euro Turks Award, which celebrates Irish food and drink, and it's craft Irish food and drink. So they've done really well, and Peter down there doing a great job. He really is. But we had a photo, but obviously can't find it. But there we go.
No, we'll do it. I found it. Stick with me. It's actually a screenshot of a Twitter, and this isn't it. It's not it.
No. Something wrong on the website. Got it, including postage for £45. Oh, is that the Dunvilles? Oh, maybe nip on there then. Stacey's conning the Celtic Whiskey Shop. Stacey shouldn't have told us that.
I found it. That's it.
Yep, there we go. That's it. Delighted that they've won a craft award, Euro Talks Award, Ireland. Food awards today of the Peter Ryan Blackwood for their outstanding spirits and their contribution to protecting the tradition and skill of the age-old crafted distillation in Ireland. So no, good for them.
He does put the effort in. He does.
A nice guy trying to do not different stuff. He's trying to do stuff that's sort of more historically reflective of what Ireland just used to do. So he's doing good stuff, and long may he carry on. A couple of good things about Glen Scotia. As I say, my favourite distillery in Scotland have brought out a new one, Icons number 2, and they are apparently doubling their production. So things are going really well for Glen Scotia, and rightly so, because they make fantastic stuff. So yeah, good on good old Glen Scotia. And that, Justin, is us pretty much. That's us pretty much caught up with the news. Except, did we bring in the proper 12?
No, you left it out. That's why I'm up the left. You see, because I had that in the running order, and then because I thought you were leaving it out because you don't like it.
No, because not only now will we be able to access proper 12, we're going to have a proper 12-13. Now, this is one of these TTB ones that's being sent over to the States, but proper 12-13. It's a 13-year-old single malt, and do you want me to actually tell you the truth? This is going to be a 13-year-old Bushmills, I assume, because Bushmills owned by the same company. And I hate to say it, that might actually not be too bad at all. American Oak First Fill Bourbon, 13 years in First Fill Bourbon. Don't know whether that should be dead on, I would think. I don't know. But that actually might be all right. The only problem is it's going to the States, but it would need to be better than that other crap, because that is shit. But yeah, as I say, that might actually not be too bad. But I'll not set my hopes too high. But I'm led to believe that there's quite a lot of aged spirit knocking about that is an awful lot cheaper than it was last year. Put it like that. I had a conversation with a guy today. He was telling me he's had 4 phone calls this week offering him aged spirit. So there's plenty of it about, and it's again buyer's market. Okay,
there we go. So
we'll get back to our guests and have a bit of a chat. Hopefully they're still there.
They are. I can tell they're still here.
Excellent.
You're back in the room.
And we're back in the room. Now we've run through the news here of stuff that's going on. I didn't bring you guys' news up because you guys now have the first legal whiskey in the grand old city of Birmingham.
We certainly do.
Excellent. Yeah. This is Tony and Joni from the Spirit of Birmingham Distillery. And right, tell us about how you set up the distillery first. What your background is and how you came to be a distillers.
So it is a long story. So, the making of a distillery is usually 10 years before you've got any whiskey. And ours is pretty much 10 years. There's a lot of pie in the sky, a lot of dreaming, and a lot of people telling us you needed £2 million to set up even a small distillery, which we didn't have. So with true Brummie tenacity, we spent our time during lockdown following a dream and trying to cajole HMRC and Birmingham City Council into making our dreams come true.
And how receptive to making your dreams come true were they?
Well, surprisingly receptive.
Surprisingly so. We think they were bored themselves through lockdown. They were delighted to have something different to do.
Any chance you could send that council over to us, because ours are all useless.
They seem to be quite helpful over here by comparison.
Yeah.
And actually, our case officer had never done anything of the like before. Never dealt with a distillery. Was from a benefit fraud background. And
it's probably not that similar, to be fair.
So the first conversation I had with our case officer from HMRC was, I've been reading up last night for the first time about distillation. Now tell me all about it. How does it work? But it was a two-way street when it came to the education of the whole process for them in terms of how we wanted to do things, and then they were teaching us the whole process as well at the same time.
The regulatory process,
yeah, which is probably more complicated than. I mean, I always try and tell people making whiskey at the most basic level, is not that difficult. You make a very simple beer and you boil it a couple of times. That's okay. I know that's just sugarcoating it, but that's essentially what you do.
Yeah.
All the regulation is
It's
just
unreal.
ridiculous.
Yeah. 18 months worth of applications and phone calls and interviews and going back and forward, and then we got all of our licenses through. Then we're probably the most licensed twosome in all of the West Midlands, I would think.
Now, in terms of setting up a distillery, when you decide to set up a distillery, you go down the white spirits route, and you guys did that. You did your other products. What are they?
So we've got an award-winning vodka, which is our flagship at the moment until the whiskey's released.
Mm-hmm.
And I also produced a gin. My sister here
made him
talked me into versus, maybe actually she made me make a gin, and we use our vodka as the base for that gin, and the vodka we are making from grain. We're doing it right. We're trying to do it right.
Okay.
And we've got the awards to tell us that we're on the right track. We independently bottle the rum as well for people who like what we're doing, want to support Birmingham's first distillery, but don't necessarily drink the products that we've released.
Yeah.
So rather than bringing in molasses and messing around with another product stream, we sourced a single cask of Jamaican rum from a prestigious distillery. So we've got rum bottled as well at the moment.
Excellent.
But 80% of our production has been going into casks.
Excellent.
In readiness.
And in terms of production, I mean, you guys are not a 2 million LPA outfit,
No.
No, far from it.
No, you're craft. You're craft.
Yeah. If we were flat out, we would 10,000 LPA.
10,000.
Yeah.
So we fill a couple of barrels a month.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now, what sort of style of whiskey do you like yourselves?
He's just drinking. We're just on his favourite right now.
Which is?
And this is an old bottle, you'll notice.
Hang on. You know what? I'll join you. Hang on. Because we have one at hand.
There you go.
See,
actually, I quite like that myself. Believe it or not, my dad likes that too. Actually,
it's one of the ones. It's kind of hard not to like Redbreast. Let's be honest. It's absolute all-time classic whiskey. So we'll have one of these in homage, in sympathy with you. There we go.
Cheers.
Sláinte, guys. Sláinte. So is that the kind of style of whiskey you like? You like that sort of sweet?
Yeah. So we've based our concept on a more Irish style, a pot still whiskey.
Oh, lovely.
So I do produce a little bit of single malt, but our spirit, including the vodka, is a mixed mash bill.
Okay.
So from a concept level, we were looking at what brewers' grains can deliver to a distiller, the potential there. Knowing that in Ireland, different grain types have been used for a very long time. My personal whiskey journey started in Ireland, and then just grew and grew. The love of whiskey generally. There's very little that I haven't enjoyed over the years, whether it's Scotch or bourbon. But it all started in Ireland, so that was always going to be a seed for our ambitions.
I
have to push a wee bit more on that. What do you mean it started in Ireland? What was the germ there?
Well,
so we're children of immigrants. So mum and dad are from Mayo and Galway.
I'm from Mayo tomorrow.
Oh, they are.
I'm heading over to Mayo tomorrow. Belmullet and for.
Oh, I was in Belmullet in February. I have a very good friend living out there.
Oh, if they supposed to put us up for the night.
She probably would. She's mad, daft as a brush. So yeah, mum and dad came over in the 60s, as did a lot of people back then. Settled in Birmingham. There's a massive Irish community here, and that's sort of, we grew up immersed in that, if you like, and going back to our grannies for the summer. And so then your starter whiskey is a Jameson or a Powers, and in a hot one, maybe, and then
then special occasions, a bit of redbreast or some John's Lane. It's
yes, excellent stuff. Excellent. No, I'm pleased with that. Pleased with that. Now, getting up and running. Where's your distillery located?
About 15 yards from where we sat.
So it's basically the back garden.
It is literally at the end of my garden.
Excellent stuff. That's even better. I like that. So you've got your distillery set up. You've got an idea of what you want to make. Because you guys are 10,000 LPA flat out. Is it really expensive to get casks and stuff? Is it really hard to get casks for you? Because at the minute there's a sort of cutthroat.
Yeah. So yes and no. It's easy to get. It's easy to get pour casks.
Yeah.
We really do treat casks as an ingredient.
Yeah.
And a major ingredient in the production of whiskey. So right from when we were business planning this idea, I had a certain person in mind who I wanted to get my casks from, and that was Alistair Sims, who at the time was the last master cooper in England.
Okay.
Sourcing things locally is in my DNA. So he was always on my radar for casks.
Good.
And I could go to somewhere like Speyside Cooperage and get pretty standard recoopered from palletized ex-bourbon barrels, but everything we get from Jensen's Cooperage, which is where Alistair is now, is hand selected by Alistair and the team. So we get freshly dumped ex-bourbon casks, as well as where our heart really matures is in virgin oak. We get some local oak from Staffordshire, and that's coopered by Alistair.
Oh, lovely.
So we've got virgin oak casks and ex-bourbon. That's pretty 50-50 mix.
Oh, no, that's cool. I mean, virgin oak can go wrong really quick. Yeah, as I'm sure you're very well aware. It's very tannic.
It depends on the spec of the cask.
Yeah.
So we've got a very particular spec that we've given to Alistair for our virgin casks, and that enables us to mature for longer without getting heavy extraction.
Yeah, it must be nice whenever you actually go and speak to somebody and they help you out in that way.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
You've got somebody with real expertise because everybody has to start somewhere. And
I do exactly.
Yeah.
And he was, he didn't laugh too much when I turned up to pick up the first barrel in the back of my car.
Well, get the back seat down.
Exactly that. I can get 2 full-size barrels with the seats down. So we literally drive up and collect them. That's it.
But we love the trip up to Yorkshire. Every month, and there's always a bit of banter up there, and it's nice to watch them hands-on crafting the barrels as well.
Yeah, there is something. There's something a bit special about people working with wood and hammers and stuff. There just is, whenever I think it's one of those things that most guys, anyway, whenever they're growing up and we see people doing this, they think, oh, there's a bit of romance to this, whenever you're doing stuff,
There's certain aspects of the whiskey industry that is just romance, but when you see the difference between heavily mechanized barrel production versus
what these
guys are doing, it's all hand tools. It's all hands-on, and they're using hand tools, the same tools that have been used for thousands of years.
I actually tried the coopering once, and my hand was sore for about a month afterwards.
The weight of the hammer is
holding it all together is like.
Johnny, do not be giving Justin any sympathy, right? You don't be giving Justin any sympathy. That's the reason dogs bite him. Justin done some manual labour about 3 years ago and still bringing it up. My arm was sore from hitting the hammer. You know what I mean? That's why don't give Justin any sympathy. Never. But no,
they're beautiful. They're like a piece of art. When you get the virgin Staffordshire oak cask, when we go to collect one of those, Their beauty. I can't stop touching them. They're so beautiful. And then the smell of the car for a week after I've had this new toasted oak in the back is just wonderful.
If you've got a machined barrel next to one of Alistair's, the simplest way to explain the difference is on the bilge, on the belly, you can't see Alistair's joints. You can't differentiate them from the grain of the wood. Whereas a coopered barrel that's made using machines, there's corners on the staves. You know,
he's an artist, isn't he?
He really is, and they care so much about their work. And it's not just that; it's about the selection of the wood that they're using as well. Yeah. When you've got an end product that is as beautifully crafted as it is, you know that at every stage in that process that person has cared about it.
And he's an amazing guy to talk to as well. You could literally chat to him all day. He can a fresh piece of oak, he can lick the end of the stave and tell you what species it is. Right. Really weird. I never knew that was a thing until he did it. Yeah.
He might be bullshitting you, you never know.
Well, he might be, but I fell for it. So, yeah.
See, but as long as it's impressive bullshit. I work as a tour guide. I understand. Oh no, that was built in 1621. Mary Queen of Scots played football up there. Yes, all that. But no. Whenever people
innocent for my own good, maybe.
No, whenever people are craftsmen like that, you know they know what they're talking about. You just do, and it builds confidence, and it also means you're getting something of real quality too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunately when it comes to quality, going back to your earlier question, you've got to pay for it.
Yeah. And they are 4 times the price of a first fill bourbon. Yeah.
But they're worth it in terms of the impact that they have on the product that we're trying to create. It's key.
No, well, that's again. We were talking earlier. I mentioned there earlier on about the likes of the famous grouse and stuff. That all has its place, and I mean, people want to go and have a drink. Fine. That's that market. You've got the more expensive. I have a couple of single cask stuff here, and then you've got collectability stuff and all. But in terms of what your guys are looking at is the locality and the craft. You proudly put Birmingham on the bottle, and that's kind of what you guys are going for, and that's something really commendable too. It really is something commendable. Now, in terms of how it's been received in Birmingham, are the people of Birmingham proud that they've got a distillery? Are they buying it? Are they doing what all are they doing?
Yeah, we do a lot of farmers markets locally. Spreading word, and it's something we love is the connection with the customers directly as well. Mm-hmm. We love people buying off the website, which is fantastic because we don't have to get up early on a cold morning. But we love the interaction direct. When somebody tastes your spirit, you can see in their eye. Mm-hmm. As soon as it hits their palate, you know exactly what they're thinking. Yeah. So that's invaluable, and people have been really supportive at the markets, and what we get most of the time is a wow when people see us for the first time. Yeah. And a question, Birmingham's got its own distillery.
Birmingham.
Now it does. And we get to tell our story then. And I think the key element for them is that we're one of them. We're just like them. We haven't come from a finance background and, spent somebody else's money. We haven't got investors. This is a completely self-funded project.
Generational wealth from Clay Morris.
Generational wealth from Bell Mullet. We got a postal order sent over at Christmas once.
The way you said that, Claire Morris, it sounded like an actual Glen Ross or something like that, some financial institution, mysterious clout. But there you go.
So getting the local stuff, are you supplying local bars or any of those kind of things, independent guys?
We are, yes. So we're supplying a few local independent off licenses. So they've been really, really supportive from the word go. Even from when we places that we actually used to shop, and we tell them what we were planning, and they were like, soon as it's, they've been fully supportive all the way. So that's been really, really, really nice. And then as we get time, we literally go in, then we cherry pick some places where we want to be, because we're not churning out thousands of litres a week, so cherry picking some places that we want to be, that we think they've got sort of a similar sort of mindset to us, and we go in, and the places we've been so far that have tried it have all agreed to stock it. So that's
brilliant.
Yeah. So slowly but surely we're getting out there.
Yeah, but I mean the English whiskey scene is growing and growing and growing. I mean, nothing annoys me more than that. You get somebody from Ireland that goes, "What English people know about making whiskey?" As much as you, exactly. Everybody has to.
We went to Bimber and it was fantastic. Remember, Marty?
Down in London, yeah. I mean,
see, our visit to Bimber got curtailed by COVID. We had our tickets and our trains booked, and then we went into lockdown about 3 days before we were supposed to go.
So we built our own.
I know, but it was essential business, and you could have said it was essential business for sanitizer. You see, you could have said that.
Oh, see, yeah, well, not.
Yeah.
Told you I was innocent. Yeah,
well, there's a way.
Yeah.
But no, but I mean, have you guys interacted with some of the other whiskey spirit and whiskey producers in England?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's a guy here called Richard Foster that runs Exploring English Whiskey.
Yeah, we've met him a couple of times.
An absolute gentleman, really
nice guy.
He's just moved to Birmingham, so we're very lucky to be able to say that. But
left that horrible place, London.
That down there, that big smoke. So we did Croydon, was our first whiskey show that we did. Croydon in 2022, April. And he's been, again, super supportive from the word go. There's the English Whiskey Festival coming up in Birmingham in November as well.
So that'll be his third one. So after he'd set up the Croydon Whiskey Festival, he then went on to start the English Whiskey Festival and hosting it in Birmingham. And we've attended that each year.
Yeah.
He's supported us, so we support him. Last year there was 35 distilleries just from England.
Yeah.
And not all of them producing whiskey yet, including ourselves.
And some of them are huge and some of them are not so, smaller like us. And then we've got Birmingham Whiskey Festival as well. So I don't know if you know Amy Seaton. She's got a whiskey bar here in the city, Grain and Glass.
No.
Amy's done a lot for whiskey in Birmingham and has certainly been an inspiration to me in my whiskey journey. I actually met her 12, 13 years ago, before the initial spark of having a whiskey distillery ever emerged. And she just founded Birmingham Whiskey Club, and she's gone on to open Birmingham's own whiskey bar alongside the club, and she's run Birmingham Whiskey Festival for I think over 10 years now.
That's lovely.
And it's she's done wonderful things for whiskey, the whiskey scene in Brum. Yeah.
Is there a big whiskey scene in Birmingham now? I mean, is it getting bigger?
The two
really
shows are sellout.
Yeah, there are always sellout shows. Amy's bar does brilliant. There's a lot of tastings on there all the time. I think it really is. There's growth in it in Birmingham.
Excellent. I mean, there is more and more people getting involved in doing whiskey, and
I think during lockdown when there was so many little clubs doing Zoom tastings and things, I think that actually helped. I was part of a couple of new whiskey clubs that opened up locally during lockdown, and then one opened before, one opened during, and they've endured and carried on afterwards. So there's in real life meetups here, there, and everywhere over the Midlands now.
There you go. There's Grain and Glass.
Yeah, Grain and Glass.
Yeah.
Quick question, because we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. What do you think makes a really good whiskey bar? Because we're sort of debating this, and you can't have the bars with the 5 squillion whiskies. They're good because you get to try lots of different stuff. Then there's the bars that have a nice selection, maybe not as many, but they're a better price. What do you think makes a good whiskey bar?
Staff.
Yeah, the people, for sure.
Yeah. And they don't even have to know anything about whiskey. They generally
just have to
do.
be enthusiastic.
But anyone who, I think when it comes to hospitality generally, the word itself is missing from places a lot of the time. Is being welcomed into an establishment, and like they really want you to be there, and they want to look after you, you know. So having good staff, I think, is key. And even if they don't know anything, they'll build the knowledge along with you.
Yeah. I've been sort of doing these, going to these different bars that I've heard about, and just, you know the way yourself, you hear about them, you haven't had a chance to actually go. So I've been making a bit more of an effort to go to some of these. And I do think the staff make massive contribution, but a place needs to be inviting. And if the staff, if you walk in and you come in and there's 1,000 whiskies and you're kind of going, I don't want to make myself look an idiot here, that can be intimidating. And as you say, if the staff are really helpful, because lots of people don't know anything about whiskey, and everybody has to start somewhere. I mean, that's just the same in every walk of life. But I was in a bar called the Abbey in Edinburgh a few weeks ago, and it was just a total local bar, and the staff were just like, I want to say, ordinary pub staff, because they were running about serving food and so on and so forth. But the whiskies in it were dead cheap, and they had a lot of stuff, and you could tell that there was a couple of guys there that knew their stuff. They had ordered a flight. But I don't think the staff were there to sort of help people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They were there to just do their job and serve food and so on and so forth. Yeah. So it was, and it had a totally different feel than something like the SMWS bars. Do you understand what I mean? It was, but it wasn't worse or wasn't better for it. It was just, you were kind of.
But some of these places are trying to be experiences, Marty. You know, they're trying to be experiences, whereas. I much prefer a thing where you walk in and you buy what you want and they leave you alone. But if it's an experience you're going for, you know, it's like, I'm going to go on a cheese making course on holiday, you know, and it's interactive then, isn't it, really?
Yeah. But I think that's a little bit as well with the decent bar staff. I've worked in a bar years ago. You know, or I think you should be able to tell when someone comes in if they want your input and interaction or if they want to be left alone. Because sometimes, like exactly what you say, Justin, sometimes you'll go in and you think, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to have a drink over there on my own, leave me alone.
And cry.
And and
make that double. I've had a hard week.
We've
just been back by a dog, give it double.
You've been asked, are you going back to Croydon in 2025?
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Where was that held? Was that held in the Box Place? Was it or
Stanley Arts Centre? It was last year, where I think it is going to be again.
The very first time it was in a different venue.
It was a different venue, yeah.
But it's been at Stanley Arts Centre the last couple of years.
And it is the 15th of March next year.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
And we'll have whiskey.
We'll have whiskey.
And you'll have whiskey. You'll have now your whiskey. The reason you popped up into my radar was I read. Your whiskey's now 3.5 years old, is it?
It's just ticked over. So we've been licensed since April 21, and we did a bit of distilling straight away. Filled a couple of little casks and did some R&D. But the first full size 200 litre cask was September of that same year. So just last month we ticked over into that we are now whiskey phase of our adventure.
And have you? I take it you tried a result. You had to. Let's. And are you happy with the results?
Very, very. But I think I always knew it was going to be. It's an equation of good in, good out, and I make sure that we get the best barley. I make sure that we get the best barrels. And I try and do as little as possible to mess it up in between, you know. But no, very, very happy with the results. We won't be bottling cask number 1 anytime soon. But
2, 3, 4, and 5 will be going into our first release, which is currently booked in our heads for June 2025.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And what's you always sort of ask this price point? Do you have any ideas?
It's the way things are at the moment. It's really hard to tell, but we want it to be available and achievable.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the things with us self-funding, we haven't got accountants and investors looking for their piece of the pie as well. So and the fact that we built the distillery at the end of our garden means that you know, the exposure for us isn't beyond our own reach in a way. So we feel like we'll be able to keep it reasonable.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Put me down for a couple of bottles whenever you're first releasing. Honestly, send me an email and I'll buy the first couple of bottles.
It's £3,000 a bottle.
Yeah.
Just
That's
as long as
okay.
you're happy.
That's okay because Justin knows me money. So Justin, or I'll set a dog on him.
I tell you,
It was your dog, wasn't it?
I tell you, I love this. I love this.
But no,
that was quick. That was quick. I like that one. No, Marty is a thing for first releases. You see.
no, well, the thing is, I like first release bottlings. I like it whenever things get off the ground and it's a first release bottle. Because you get to try stuff, and it depends on what it is. If you try your sort of first thing, and I always think cask one or that kind of thing when it's being released. Stick it in a nice fancy box. Let people have it so they can put it in a cupboard and do all that. And that's perfect, right? That's what your very first cask should be.
Yeah.
It's a sort of celebration. But it's the second casks, the second bottling that comes out. That's whenever the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Let's see what you're prepared to let people drink at a reasonable price and what price you're going to expect us to pay for it going forward.
So
that's the point.
Our first release will be a statement of how we mean to go on.
Yeah.
In that it will be a core release.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as much of a core release can be for a distillery of our size.
Yeah.
It's not going to be available all the time, but it will be, it will be a batch. It will be a batch release,
Mm-hmm.
and it will be a statement to say, "This is us. This is what we're all about." And
that's our mixed
and this is just the first batch of that.
Yeah.
And then in between that, we've got our single malt. So the last couple of years, we've done just a couple of tons. We did 100% Marisotta heritage barley the first year.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we did 100% organic plumage archer, another heritage variety of grain. And then I don't know, have you chosen your grain for
Not yet.
2025?
Just in discussion with the maltsters to see what's available and
and we don't go with the grain is never chosen on yield. It's always chosen on flavour. So it'll depend. Conversations have to happen between Ant and the maltster to see what the farmers are prepared to grow, because they only want to grow if it's going to, pay them, and that's understandable. And
Well, that's it. I mean, there's sometimes I talk to people and they seem to think a lot of this is a charity. This is what you should. No, people need to make money out of it.
Yeah. We can go to our maltster. He'll tell us exactly which farm our grain was grown on. We know that it's all either grown in Hampshire or on the Cotswolds. So, it's all real good quality.
You're into terroir and the whole caboodle.
Wow! Whoa. I wouldn't.
I can't even say that word. So,
Justin,
can I just the Brummie accent?
Can I just remark that that's now two things that Justin has remembered.
Kit Charles is standing over there. He's holding up a prompt.
Somebody must be holding a plaque of those prompt cards, cue cards for Justin. For terroir, Justin.
I know.
I am bamboozled by this.
I like Birmingham. I like it for a curry. I like it because there's a chocolate factory there. I like it because there's jewelry there. I like it because there's a big train thing there. The first train station was there. I like it. I like Birmingham. I've had a couple of holidays in Birmingham. Did I not tell you that years ago?
You may have done. I've only been in Birmingham once in my life, by the way. I'll just put that out.
Well, the BBC turned me down for a job in Birmingham as well.
But everybody's turned you down for a job, Justin. Everybody has turned you down for a job. We've
got a lot of dogs here. We've got a lot of dogs. Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what. We'll come over then. If you've a lot of dogs, we can go over. We get Justin, bite Justin. But no. So you expect to have your first release whiskey for June next year?
Yeah.
Or summer next year. You'll be doing the English Whiskey Festival in Birmingham.
We've got Birmingham Whiskey Festival the 1st of March and then Croydon the 15th of March. I think we're down to do Bristol as well. There's a new one coming to Bristol, which we've never ventured down to the southwest yet. for a whiskey festival. So
I'll be up in Kendal in
I'm
December.
going to Kendal in December. Yeah,
Kendal Whiskey Festival, which my whiskey buddies tell me is an amazing event.
They all got snowed in last year, so.
Oh well, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Out with the artificial snow machines. Yes. Oh, we're stuck. Oh, boo-hoo. Drink it. But there must be an awful lot of these English whiskey festivals popping up.
There's a lot of more and more, and it's a great thing to see. You know, when you set up a distillery and you've been burying all your efforts into casks for 3 years, that over that time as well, that the interest, the customer base has grown, and if the number of whiskey groups out there has grown, as well as the number of festivals keeps growing, you know, it's obviously, I wouldn't say it's snowballing, but you know, the even in difficult economic times, there's still a hopeful future, you know, for our little distillery.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Kendal's not the biggest place in the world.
No, absolutely.
No, but it's got one of the best whiskey festivals in the country. It's
you know, it seems strange. It hasn't appeared in my radar, which is a bit strange. I am a bit remiss in that. But yeah, I mean, just by the talk, more and more of these whiskey festivals popping up in England.
So the one Scarborough.
Scarborough did a first one last June as well. But that was more of a spirits festival.
Another new one, Borders Whiskey Festival.
Yeah, I've heard of that one now.
Southport.
Wales have got theirs as well. Yeah, Southport twice a year. Southport's a good little festival.
Yeah.
There's plenty to choose from. I wish we could do them all, but we'd be doing nothing else.
Doing nothing else. Just driving around going to whiskey festivals. Yeah, that would be a real pain. Yeah.
If I could get paid doing it, I'd do it.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. But no, you've got your vodka, got a gin, you've sourced the rum, whiskies in cask, so it's basically a pot still whiskey. It's an Irish style whiskey.
Yeah.
Single malt as well.
Yeah, just a very short run of single malt each
4
year.
casks a year.
Yeah.
4 casks a year.
And this stuff looks fantastic.
And that is that's our wash.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So we keep a clean ferment. So the wash is a really, really lovely, thick, rich, delicious.
Wow.
You can imagine. Like I always think it smells like. Do you remember Ovaltine as a kid?
Oh yeah.
That real malty, sweet smell. Every time Aunt mashes in, and so because we keep the clean ferment, some of that then we can hop it and bottle condition it, and we have a beer essentially then that is we've done a couple of batches where the beer has been taken from the wash and then the rest has been distilled. So you've got like a before and after, as it were. It's
like a separated at birth sort of thing. So from a single mash, from a single wash, I've got both beer and whiskey.
Yeah.
It was actually the most distinct example of that is from a collaboration with Richard at the Exploring English Whiskey, and also in collaboration with the guys at Circumstance Distillery in Bristol. They run a site called Still in Cask, where you can buy bottle shares of a cask of whiskey. It's not like a cask investment firm where you're investing in thin air. These casks actually exist, have been filled. So Richard got a virgin oak cask from our Coopers, a 100-litre cask, and we filled it with our beer. And then when we emptied that cask 6 months later, we filled it with our spirit. Now, the beer and the spirit were actually produced from the same mash bill on the same day. So the beer filled the cask, stayed there for 6 months. Then we hopped and bottle conditioned it. And the spirit had been made and was just sitting and waiting to fill that cask once the beer came out. So in a couple of years' time, and you can buy shares in that cask on the website Still in Cask. So in a couple of years' time, when that whiskey's then mature, you'll be able to essentially drink a bottled beer of the same wash that was produced on the same day as the whiskey.
That's pretty cool. That is very cool, mate. That's very cool. And the fact that you're all recycling everything. Greta Thunberg will not be coming around protesting outside your place or anything like that.
We've got very little waste, to be fair to us.
Yeah.
So nothing gets wasted really. Even the grain we've got.
The kids eat that for breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
No, the cows eat it somewhere. Do you have
lining the roof with that? It's insulation. So that goes like there's a dairy farm here about 10 miles away. So the cows have that for their mid-morning snack.
Yeah.
The water to cool the condensers, it's all collected off the roof. So we've got very little waste.
It's all collected off the roof of basically a garage at the bottom of the garden.
We've got a double garage and a shipping container, and that's us. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys, it sounds fantastic, and there's so many people do whiskey stuff, and they talk about doing things and they get into whiskey and so on. But you guys actually, put your money where your mouth is, and more importantly, your time and effort, and getting up and running. And good on you. The more guys like you, the better. And I wish you all the best in the world. And genuinely, stay in touch. And when you're bringing out your whiskey in the summer, do give me a heads up, because I will be getting a couple of bottles of that, because I'd really, really like trying that. So I would. But
excellent stuff.
As I say, Tony, launch it. And when I'm in Belmullet tomorrow, I will. I will think. Oh, they were here not that long ago.
And we'll be back next week unless we get abducted by aliens.
Yes. or in case Justin gets mauled by a wild mountain lion or something.
All right. Take it easy.